Folks, we've officially made it to the biggest week of the year for Nebraska recruiting over the next couple days. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 of the Huskers' top prospects will be announcing their college commitments, and we've seen some insane, crazy rumors drop. So in today's video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know, what's been going on with this massive Nebraska recruiting update. The Huskers, out of nowhere, they are now projected to land a rising coveted offensive tackle. I have a huge inside scoop around his situation. Spoiler alert, Coach Rule played a massive role. But not only that, Nebraska, they went from last place to first place to land a 4-star linebacker out of Texas. Absolutely nobody is talking about it. I'm going to give you a stats check. Then we're going to go over updates around Devin Jackson and Darion Jones. Does Nebraska still have a chance there? What about Mpouma? He's committing later today. I have updates around Trae Taylor and Larry Miles at OT7. They've been absolutely dominating. I have some exclusive clips that I want to share with you. They've been arguably MVPs of the entire camp. And then we'll wrap things up with an exclusive inside scoop on Valdin Sone, what's been going on there with Nebraska and Georgia. So really quick, this video is absolutely loaded. You're going to want to watch the entire thing because it is nuts. Hit that like button if you're fired up. And also, if you're a dire Nebraska fan and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? For daily content, talking about your favorite team, talking Huskers, talking recruiting just like this, it's a no-brainer. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, folks, we have a lot to talk about. This is a loaded video, and it's going to be a loaded week. We have a commitment today. We have a commitment tomorrow. We have commitments this weekend, and we are just getting started. So I want to get things going with something that happened yesterday that was completely out of left field. It was surprising to many, including myself. This is a Leon Noel Jr. This is a 3-star offensive lineman coming out of Louisiana. Now, I want to give you some background information. Okay, what was going on going up until yesterday? Now, he visited Nebraska a couple weeks ago. Felt like that visit was good, not great. He's down to the Huskers, Mississippi State, and Baylor. But for that reason, it always felt like Mississippi State, they've been the favorite to land his commitment on July 7th when he's announcing. Now, that all changed yesterday. We know that Nebraska, they want 4 total offensive linemen in this class. They're likely going to land one today. We'll talk about it. So they want one more. It's either going to be Leon Noel, it's going to be Cooper out of Syracuse, or it's going to be Kelvin Obot. Yesterday afternoon, Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule personally called Leon Noel and his family. They chatted for 35 minutes. And after that conversation, I don't know what was said. We know that Matt Rhule can be very convincing when he gets personally involved. Crystal balls flip from Mississippi State to Nebraska. The Huskers are expected to land his commitment in 1 week. So again, this pretty much came out of nowhere. It means Nebraska really wants this guy. If Matt Rhule is personally making phone calls, he doesn't do that with every prospect. That just doesn't happen. We know that Matt Rhule, again, he can be very convincing. So the Huskers are trying to land this guy last second. So just watch out for this guy. The guy can play offensive tackle and offensive guard. He's very raw. He's very similar to Mpouma, where the traits are there, the upside's there. Just probably don't expect him to play within the first couple of years because, again, he's super, super raw. But Leon Noel is somebody who can watch out committing next Monday. The Huskers are likely going to land him. But here's the interesting thing. I want you to remember this. After all the crystal balls rolled in from national beat reporters and Husker beat reporters, a Mississippi State writer doubled down on his crystal ball to the Bulldogs at a 90% confidence level. Again, this was just basically an hour afterwards. So despite the national beat reporters and despite the Nebraska beat reporters feeling like the Huskers will land him, the Mississippi State beat reporters still feel like they're going to land him. So again, this is pretty much still up in the air. I don't think he's a silent commit. At least I don't know. Mississippi State, they're probably still going to push very hard to land him. So just watch out for this guy. We know Nebraska going to take one more offensive lineman. They're pushing hard for this guy who can play probably offensive guard for the Big Red. So that's somebody who I have my eyes out for. But not only him, let's talk about a 4-star linebacker, because nobody's talking about this guy, and I could very well see him commit to Nebraska. This is none other than Mr. Calvin Thomas out of Cypress, Texas, 6'3", 210 pounds, freak athlete, freak speed. Again, we know he's committing on July 12th. And for all intents and purposes, for a very long time, looked like Texas, they were the heavy favorite. Okay, and he wants to go to Texas. I want to make that very clear to you. If Calvin Thomas had his choice, he will be a Texas commit. However, it likely is not going to be his choice because we don't know how badly Texas wants him. Texas, they only are going to take 2 linebackers in this entire class, maybe 3. And if you look at the linebackers that Texas are recruiting, they're a bunch of big fish, 5 stars, top 100 prospect. For that reason, inside Texas circles, they do not know if they have room for Calvin Thomas. And for that reason, it's still very much up in the air where he's going to commit. I want to read off to you what an inside Longhorn writer said yesterday on a message board. He said, Calvin Thomas is still on Texas radar. Could change by July 12th if other decisions go elsewhere, but as of right now, I would probably lean that he commits to Nebraska. Again, that was made by a Texas writer. So we do not know if Texas has room for him. It looks like they don't. Again, if Calvin Thomas has his choice, he'll be a Longhorn. But I think, honestly, Texas, they won't have room for him. And in that case, he will likely commit to Nebraska. So this is a very good development for the Huskers. They need another inside linebacker in this class. Jace Reynolds is good, but he's very raw. I mean, it's pretty much a high risk, high reward type of player. You need a guy like Calvin Thomas, who's a freak athlete, who's speedy, who can play jack and middle. So we'd watch out for this one. Again, committing on July 12th, still very much up in the air. That's why he's waiting a couple weeks. He's waiting to see if the Longhorns really want him. I just don't think they're going to, give him the green light. For that reason, I believe he'll be a Nebraska commit. So just watch out for this one. I think the Huskers are going to be in a good place in about 2 weeks. And then let's talk a couple other guys. Because Devin Jackson, this pretty much came out of nowhere. And I told you guys 2 days ago, I felt like it was going to come down to Nebraska, Florida, and Miami. And I told you I'd expect a commitment by the end of the week. Now, you can imagine my shock, my surprise, when just a couple hours later after I said that, crystal balls rolled in from Steve Wolfrong and the On3 guys that he is likely going to commit to Oregon on Thursday. Now, again, my read on the situation is this. It's not over. He's not a silent commit for Oregon just yet. The reason why he's being crystal balled is none other than a money thing. It's a money thing. Okay, they're throwing around money. They want some high-quality DBs in that class. They offered him a nice price tag. We know that they got that Nike money with Phil Knight. And Devin Jackson, he just did not want to say no to that, and it's trending in Oregon's direction. But I will say this, Nebraska, they're going to be aggressive here. It's not over. They want Devin Jackson. They made that very clear. That's the reason why they got his buddy and Danny on. That's the reason why they're getting Larry Miles, is because they want Devin Jackson as well. They want that trio to stick together. So while all signs point to Oregon right now on Thursday, that's when he's going to be committing. I expect Nebraska still to have a chance there. Again, it's not over. And I want to show you guys this. Oregon already is stacked at the safety spot. They already have a 5-star commit in Jet Washington. They already have a 4-star safety in Xavier Larissa, who Nebraska wanted previously in the process. He's very good. They have Trae McNutt from last year's class. Like, if Devin Jackson wants to play, why would he go to Oregon? Oregon's very good. I don't want to discredit them, but they're very far away from home, and he's just not getting on the field. I think it would be a very ill-advised move for him. I'm going to be very honest with you. If you want to play, earn good NIL money, and play with your boys, go to Nebraska. Now, if you are all about the price tag and not get on the field, go to Oregon. That's just me being honest with you. So Devin Jackson will watch out, see what happens. I don't think it's over. I think Nebraska, they're going to push for him last second, so just watch out for some last-second crystal balls. But right now, looks like Oregon is probably a money thing more than anything else. A couple other things I want to go over with you. Darion Jones, again, we know it's Nebraska or Iowa. He's committing on 4th of July this Friday. I've been holding out hope that these crystal balls are going to change to Nebraska. I just always felt like, the brother connection was going to win out here. We're getting a little bit late. It's getting a little bit late for it to change. I think it's going to be Iowa. And there's a lot of confidence within that coaching department for them that they're going to land him on Friday. So looks like Iowa's going to land Darion Jones. That's somebody who I've been high on for super long. I believe he was a 4-star prospect. That's a big miss. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you miss out on Darion Jones and you miss out on Devin Jackson, this secondary class starts to have a lot of problems because we don't really have other options. We have Danny Owen, which is fine, but you probably need 4 total secondary members in this class. And you only have 1 right now. You lost CJ Brana. You're about to lose Devin Jackson and Darion. So we have some problems there. And once again, Nebraska, they got to win football games. Hope they can flip a couple guys. But Darion Jones, if he commits to Iowa, he's not going to flip because he grew up to be a fan. That's the reason why he's going to commit there. So I'm disappointed. I thought Nebraska would change things with, again, Donovan Jones, his brother. But just looks like his heart is in Iowa. I'm not going to tell him otherwise. If you grew up to be an Iowa fan, go ahead and play for Iowa. That's your team. I respect it a lot. All right, some other updates. Again, Mpouma already told you guys, silent commit. I expect a commitment today at 5 p.m. Watch out for that. I'll have a video right when he announces. So, again, that'll be a big-time video. Make sure to watch out for that. It'll be the Huskers. Feel great about that. Big-time land by the staff. And then I want to show you guys something. Again, OT7 was this weekend, which is a huge 7v7 tournament. Trae Taylor and Larry Miles, they were playing out. I want to show you this throw. This was absolutely ludicrous by Trae Taylor. Okay, well, I want you to watch this throw. Drops back, looking. Look at this. Did you see that? I want to show you that again. In case you missed it. One more time. Trae Taylor looking. Beautiful throw. Over 2 defenders. Unbelievable. Trae Taylor, he was ripping it up all weekend. He looked phenomenal down there in Florida. His 5th star is coming soon. That's all I'm going to say. His 5th star is coming very, very soon. But not only him. Nebraska's silent commit wide receiver, Larry Miles. Yes, you heard me correctly. He's a silent commit. He's already told the coaching staff that he's a commit. Of course, he's announcing tomorrow. Larry Miles was also ripping it up. He had 15 touchdowns in 1 weekend, which was absolutely ludicrous. He was one of the MVPs in day 1. He was one of the MVPs in day 2, and he was one of the MVPs yesterday on Championship Sunday. So this guy is just balling out. I'll show you some of his clips. Again, he's a silent commit for Nebraska. He'll be announcing publicly tomorrow, but somebody with great hands. The size, he's only 5'10", but man, he could just make plays. I just want players who can make plays, and he makes plays. That's what you're going to get here. I've tweeted out, Larry Miles has been dominating OT7 Nebraska, about to get a special wide receiver. So Larry Miles, some positive developments around him, man. He was looking good. He might, honestly, and I tweeted this out too, Larry Miles might just be Nebraska's best commit in this class. And I know that sounds crazy with Luke Sorensen, with Danny Yoder, and some of the other guys. Larry Miles is just special, and he's honestly underrated. He should be probably a top 200 player in America because he's been just balling out. And then the last thing I want to share with you, Valdin Sone, I found this very interesting. Georgia just landed a Big Ten commitment on the defensive line, the number 1 defensive lineman in America. That puts them to 4 defensive line commitments in this class. Okay. I do not know if Georgia has room anymore for Valdin Sone. And the reason why I say that is because we know when Valdin Sone visited Georgia about 2 weeks ago, they were pushing hard for him to commit. Okay, they said, hey, it has to happen now. Or else we might not have a spot for you in a couple weeks. And Valdin Sone said, you know what? No, I'm not going to commit. I'm not going to give in to that peer pressure. I'm going to wait till the fall. And because of that, Georgia said, all right, we gave you an opportunity. We're going to land this guy. And at this point in time, I don't know if Georgia has any more room for Valdin Sone. They already have four-star defensive linemen. So for all intended purposes, Georgia could be out of it for him. Okay, and in that case, I'd say it's pretty much a 3-horse race between Nebraska, Florida, and Auburn. Oklahoma not really in it that much anymore. So that's a great development for Nebraska. And I told you guys this, the longer he waits, the more I like Nebraska's odds, because these other schools, they have defensive line commits that they want. Nebraska, they don't have anybody. Valdin Sone is their guy. They will always have a spot for Valdin Sone. That's not the case with Georgia. That might not be the case with Auburn. That might not be the case with Florida. So Valdin Sone, by him waiting, is a very good thing for Nebraska. We know he's probably going to visit once again for that Michigan game. Huskers are pushing for it. Just watch out for the name, because that's arguably the biggest player. That's the biggest fish in this class. Okay, last year it was Dawson Merritt, Michael Terry. This year it's Valdin Sone, and arguably Kelvin Olbott, but we're probably not going to land Kelvin Olbott. All right, guys, big time Nebraska recruiting update. It's going to be a busy day. We know Mpouma is committing today. We know that Larry Miles is committing tomorrow. We know that Devin Jackson's committing to Thursday. Oregon or Nebraska, probably going to be Oregon. We know Darion Jones committing Friday. Again, I'm still holding out a little bit of hope, but I think it's going to be Iowa. We know that Leon Noyle is going to be committing a week from today. We know that Calvin Thomas is committing very soon. It's going to be busy, man. It wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. I love recruiting season. Let's get active and let's get some 4-star prospects. So, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below about everything. Hey, if you made this far in the video, shout out to you. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go be good. Go Met Roll, and I'll see you in the next one.